everybody. I've been back and forth trying to decide if I want to bring you guys on this journey. I am fixing to start on a big journal, a custom order, and the theme is Animalia, which is basically all Animal Kingdom. So I am, this is a custom order for a friend of mine who is a local artist who I absolutely adore and look up to. So I kind of feeling a little pressure to make this, just absolutely perfect. So with that being said, I'm going to take some time on this, a little more time, a little extra attention, I guess. And so with that, this may be a big, long, drawn-out project. And I'm trying to decide, I think I'm going to bring you guys along with me. A lot of times I do, create with me videos, but it's kind of like working on pieces of a journal. But I think this time I'm going to have you jump on board at the beginning, and I'll do this in parts, and I don't know how many parts I'll end up with. And if you want to follow along and see from start to finish, then yeah, I'll have all the videos up. And I'll just create videos as I work on it, and we'll go from there and see what happens. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And with that being said, this will be part one. I decided to go with hardcover book. This one is, let's see how many. I'll get my glasses going on here. About a 2.5 inch spine. Hardcover book. I didn't disassemble the book. This was a big, American Metal Association book. I didn't disassemble it. I didn't break the spine or anything like that. I just reinforced it and added a piece of cardboard under here. I've taped it down with athletic tape, just sports tape you can get at the dollar store. It's a cloth tape that doesn't really tear very well, and so I think it works well for binding because it doesn't tear very well, and it gives you the flexibility. I've still got plenty of flexibility in that spine. So I think I've decided this is the book I'm going to use. It's awfully big, but I'm okay with that. So let's see, it's about 7.5 by 9.5. So it's pretty big. And then again, it's got quite a bit of a spine, but this lady, she told me to just go crazy with it and, put all my energy into it. And so I am. I've chosen to cover to cover it in fabric. I've chosen this fabric. I've spent all morning kind of going through my fabrics to see. I don't know if you can really see, but this has got kind of a gold shimmer in it. I debated on if this was Asian or not. I think it gives the feel of it, but I don't think it technically is. It's got kind of some markings that make it look like it's Asian, but I don't think technically it is. So I think this lady is more along and has interest in Native American. She wants to use this as a animal study, spirit guides, things like that. So all that to be said, I'm using this, even though it has an Asian feel. I think when I get done with it, with kind of what I'm thinking, I think that we'll not see it as an Asian feel. So I'm going to cover my book cover with this, and my plan is to, on the cover, if I can find it, I have some, I know what this is. I want to say it's like a canvas material. It's kind of thick. It's got little pieces of, it's like a really natural fiber. Maybe just, what is that? My mind is blank. I want to say muslin, but I don't know that that's what it is. Anyways, my plan is to cover the cover. I hate saying that, but cover the cover in this reddish gold. And then I'll do something, some kind of layered frame on the front. And she told me add all the animals I can think of, but be sure to add a wolf. So she didn't tell me directly that she feels like that's her spirit animal, but I am going to go with it. And she was hesitant. I mean, she was insistent that there be a wolf on it. So I've got this image off the internet, and I'm gonna somehow work it into the cover. So the cover will have a wolf on it, nothing else. And of course, layered fabric and all that good stuff. So that is my current plan. Inside cover will be, the blue will be covered with these panels of like a maroon color. I think that'll work just nicely with this. And then my centerpiece, I always do a centerpiece fabric. I have this, it's almost like a burlap, it's almost like a tweed. I wish I knew my fibers. I will probably put this along the center in a strip. It's got some good texture to it. If I don't do this, I will do, I've got a handful of different fabric pieces. I've also got, I may do, oops, sorry to be banging you around here. I've also got this that I could do in the center. It's feathers. I don't know. Haven't decided on the center yet, but we'll do something in the center to kind of cover up that mess. Like I said, I've got plenty of options for coordinating fabrics. So that is my current plan. And that's what I'm working on today, is kind of getting my cover situated. I've been dyeing some paper that I don't do on camera because it's over in the kitchen area and I make a nice mess of it. So, I think I've got you guys in frame well enough to see exactly kind of what I'm doing. Basically, I'm just tearing me a piece of fabric that's going to cover my spine really well. I'm going to keep this, I say, kind of simple. I'm not planning to do any kind of a spine dangle or anything like that. I may decorate the spine, but I'm not planning to do any foo-foo and fluff at the current moment. Unless she decides that she wants all that. But she, the way she explained, she will be using this as a working journal. So, I don't want to put a bunch of foo-foo on it to hinder her actually using it. So we'll see when that time comes. So yeah. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do a layer of glue on the front cover. I'm using Weld Bond. It's my favorite glue. I'll just do a thin layer to get us started. I'm using my little makeup applicator, and I'll just smooth it out pretty good. This book is textured, so it's wanting to go in the grooves, which is fine. Like I said, just a thin layer works. Mainly to keep my fabric in place so it doesn't start shifting around on me. Although I will say this, I don't want that AMA Medical Association to come through. I don't want that to come through. Although I will, I should be able to cover it with my wolf picture, so we should be good to go on that. So anyways, I was dyeing paper this morning and last night, and I made a big batch, but I really don't know how much of I'm going to use. I'm not pleased with the color. I mean, it's okay. I did a coffee dye with a little bit of red food coloring, and I'm just not 100% pleased with it. So the last batch of dyeing I did coffee dye with a little bit of blue and green food coloring, and that turned out fabulous. And so I guess I had my hopes up. So let's see here. So I don't know how much of that paper I'll use. I've gone through my scrapbook paper and found coordinating papers that I want to use, and I have printed off some images from the internet. Most of them are free images that I found on the free image website, and a huge portion of them are images from my friend Cindy at Studio Lou. She has a Patreon, and each month she shares a journal with me kit that has some of her images, and she always tends to have some animals somehow in her collection. So I've gone through the last couple months of those and pulled out some animals. There we go. I think that's nice and smooth. Nice. Okay. Now, I've said it before in my videos, and I'll say it again. I am not any kind of a professional. I am a messy artist, and I like to just go with the flow a lot of times. I don't like to measure. I don't like to be precise and make sure that this side is 2 3/4 and that is 2 3. I don't like to do that. I don't like the stress of that kind of stuff. I prefer to just be free with my art. And if it works, it works. If it don't, we try something else. So, all that to be said, I'm going to take you guys on this journey with me. That is nice and crooked, for example. I'm going to take you guys on this journey with me in the realm of, again, it is what it is, and we are making art, and we are not concerned about the rules, because in my opinion, there are no rules in art. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but I'm working on getting the cover laid down on this. So yeah, in my opinion, there are no rules in art. And see, I mean, I just put my hand in the glue because, you know, again, I'm a messy artist. I've got ink on my hands. I just go with it, and what feels good, and what looks good. That's kind of the way I see it. Just kind of the way I go with it. So, no promises as to how this is going to turn out, but if you're here with me, I appreciate it. And if you're out there watching and you're seeing something that I'm doing wrong or not doing right, just holler at me. I mean, you're going to have to holler really loud because you're way out there and I'm in here, but, you know, you can holler at me. Chances of me hearing you are really slim, but that being said, you're welcome to make a comment in the comment box. Good, bad, or indifferent. Coming along, coming along, coming along. I will, for the life of me, never be able to figure out where I have to cut my corners to make a straight, perfect corner. And again, that goes back to me not wanting to measure and all that good stuff. So there we have it. We are covered in fabric. Looking nice, feeling nice. Okay. So, carrying on. Gotta decide if I want I think I do. I was trying to decide if I wanted straight edges or if I wanted kind of ripped edges. And we're gonna go with ripped edges and see what that does for us. And you know, I'm overlapping into the spine here, but I think I'm going to be okay with that. Mainly because, again, I'm going to have a piece of material covering my spine. So I've got a little bit of the lighter red covering showing through. And then I'm going to figure out how far down, again, not measuring. And then hopefully this rip will be perfect. And will fit. I think it's pretty perfect. I got a little bit of the cover showing through here and on the side and down here. And again, I've overlapped over here, but I'm not too concerned about that because I'll have my center piece of fabric going on. I don't own an iron, so I don't know if you can tell or not. This piece of material is kind of wrinkly, but we are hoping this will iron it out. Weld bond. And I'm going to go right up to where I think I need to go. Weld bond dries clear, so that is a good thing. I've got to figure out this wolf picture to put on the front. I kind of feel like he needs to be laminated somehow. I don't have a laminating machine, and he's too wide to do, you know, I don't know what you call it, the packing tape lamination. I don't know what that's called. But he's too wide for that. So I gotta figure that part out. Okay, now's the time for the ironing. My little iron out. Stretch my little wrinkles out. Nope, I don't like that. You stretched a little too far. We gotta scoot you back up. I'm okay if it's a little wrinkly. Yep, I like that. I'm going to tack a little bit of glue down here. Just because you're flapping and making me feel like you're going to come off. And I don't want you to do that. Although I don't want you to do that either. Okay. Again, we are not going for perfection because while there are no rules in art, there's no perfection in art. Again, another one of my rules. My rules that there are no rules. You know those rules? Okay. Let's see what else we have. Need to get me a torn edge up here. Okay. Oh. Torn edge here. Okay, now we have 4 torn edges. And we have strings everywhere. Okay. I don't want you all raveled. I mean, I'll take it raveled, but I don't particularly want you all raveled. Okay. So, I guess part 1 is going to be working on the cover. Again, this may be a big undertaking with a bunch of videos, a bunch of parts, but I'm done with my July challenge. It's the 1st of August, and I'm not working on anything else. So, I just decided instead of sending you guys random create with me videos that I would, again, take you along on this whole journey. So you can see from start to finish my way I make a journal. For whatever that is worth. There's some bubbles in that, but I'm okay with that. Come on, you flipped under. There you go. I actually think I'm gonna... The bottom of this is kind of flipped up a little bit, so I think I'm gonna just kind of go through and add a little bit more glue. So yeah, there we have it. I really don't want you shredding like that. I like the jagged edge, but I don't want you shredding. Does that make sense? Okay. So there we have it. We are covered on the inside and outside. Wonder. We might could just do a strip of that. How's that? What says you? What says you? It's kind of thin. Skinnier than I wanted it to be. Yeah, I don't think I want to do that. So, let's see if you... My reds don't match there. I don't know if you can tell, but the feathers are kind of like orange and the inside is dark red. So I'm not sure I'm feeling that part. What do you say? What do we say this? Or again, we could just simply use this, and it's just real thin. I usually like it flapping into the... But since we've gone such an overlap with the red, I think we'll be okay. Because see, my spine is actually right through here. And I like to have my inside fabric flip over a little bit. But I think we'll go with this. We'll just kind of glue it down the center. And then if it flaps a little, it's okay because the red is underneath. Usually I don't have very much of this folding into the spine. So I try to do a lot of overlap to hide that basically. But since I've got quite a bit of the red, I think we'll do that. Yeah, I think we'll do that. And I think what I'll do is I'll do a line down the center. There's some thread. I've got thread everywhere. I don't know if you can see that or not. I've got little pieces of thread everywhere. A line down the center and some into the overlap to make sure I've got that overlap. But basically, I just don't want any of the Schwartz tape to show. It's basically what I'm working with here. And you'll have to excuse my big head if it falls into screen. I'm standing up. Well, I prefer to work standing up, but it kills my back when I do that. So, okay, so I'm going over the red a little bit. And we'll just see. I'm going to kind of line it up on my mat so I can get an idea of my center because I'm not really centered. Okay. Yeah, and those, so that is right in the fold of each of the books. See how it's right in the fold of that. And I gotta decide if I'm okay with that. Give me some glue up in here. make sure I'm all glued down. Do that to the bottom as well. Look at that, more thread. You know, some material, when you start shredding it, it starts telling you all about it. And you'll see it on everything for days. I think that's what we got going on here. Okay. It's keeps wanting to pop up. Just doing it up here too. Maybe it just needs to dry. Maybe I'll leave it alone and let it dry. So, there we have it. I'm going to call this part 1. I'm not done with the cover, but I've got to figure out a way to laminate my wolf and figure out how I want him on the cover. So I'll have to ponder that a little bit before we make final decisions on that. So I'm going to jump off here and eat me a bite of lunch, I think, and I'll be back and we can work some more. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you'll follow along on this. Like I said, it's going to be a bit of a long journey, I think. I don't know how many parts, but I'll try to keep them short and sweet, 30 minutes, 40 minutes range, and we'll just see what becomes of it. Yeah, so that's all I got for now. Like I said, I'm going to go eat me a bite of lunch, and then I'll be back, ponder on this cover a little bit, and I'll be back, and we'll go from there. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.